What's up, everyone? It's Dennis from Super Pyro Bros. Hope y'all are doing good and eating good. But if not, I'm here to serve up a deck profile I've been cooking up for ya. Didn't mean to be corny, but hey, corn's edible too. Anyways, this leader is Sanji. Sanji is a leader that is a green-blue. When you play a character with no base effect from your hand and you have 3 or less characters, set up to 2 of your Dawn cards as active again. So it's a deck based on vanillas. By vanilla, I mean the cards with no base effect. It's just a short way of saying it. But yes, this is a deck that hopefully you can build your own from. There's many ways to build this deck, and I hope this is a good basis for you to start with. So anyways, let's get right to it. Obviously, we got the leader, Mr. Cool Leader, Smokey over there. First up, we're going to try to play the film cards. This is going to be a half film deck. So for stars, we're going to play 4 of Jinbei. He's the first vanilla that we're going to put. So as soon as you play him, he's basically super free because let me show you, for example, with 2 Dawn, you get 2 Dawn active, play him, cost 2, Sanji leader effect, rest him right back up again. You get to use him for whatever you want, including attacking with the leader for a little stronger. So can't go wrong with him at 4. Next up, I'm playing 2 of Chopper. He is an awful card. He's literally just there for the 2k counter. And why do I need him as a 2k counter is because I'm playing just 2 of the searching Namis so that there's less chance of her not getting a target with her search effect. So I'm playing 2 of hers. The reason I'm playing 2 is because she's not that great of a searcher either. She only lets you look at up to 3 cards in your hands. So it's likely that you don't even get what you want. And you have to rest it down while doing the search. So you don't want to have to rest it down for absolutely nothing. So the less chances to miss with a card like Chopper or something, the better. So I chose to play 2 of hers for the film part of the deck. Next up, I'm playing 4 of Usopp. He is the vanilla 3 cost, 5k power. Nothing to say about him besides he's another easy, Dawn reactivation for the leader. So we're going to do 4 of him, still on the film package. We're going to do 4 of Rubber Noah Zoro. He is your 4 cost 6k power one, and he's of course still very strong, can hit leaders like Whitebeard for free. And of course, you just put 1 down on him to reach that magic number 7 for every other leader. So very great card to play. Must max him out. I'm playing just 1 of Brook. People usually say, why do you play 1 of a certain card? That's very inconsistent or whatever. But it's for, I would say, a utility thing where like you don't want to see him. But if he is there, he's there just for a free extension. He's only an extension because on play, he gets to play a film or a Straw Hat Crew character that costs 3 or less. So that means your Usopps, your Nami, and your Jinbeis. So 1 free guy, and if anything, he's a 1k counter. Drop him if you don't want to take leader damage. So it doesn't hurt to play the 1. They're all searchable from Nami either way. And he's playable with the 7-drop Luffy that we're about to look at. I'm playing 2 of Frankie. He's just a high stat vanilla for when you need him in the mid game to put on a lot of pressure on your opponent, because 7k is a very powerful stat line that people must respect. So just 2 Frankies. I might want to put him up on more. But last of the films is the 7-drop 7k Luffy. He is also a blocker, but on play, you get to play a film or Straw Hat Crew type with a cost of 4 or less from your hand. So that includes everybody from here, meaning Jinbei, the Namis, the 4 Usopps. You can play in the Zoros, which is really good. You can also play the Brook. That's where Brook, I said, comes in, where if you have any one of these and just one of hims, you get to go boom, rest 7, play the Luffy, then play Brook. Then Brook can play either Usopp, Nami, or Jinbei for free. So you get to basically play 3 cards at the cost of just 1 character. So it's like a summon chain. He plays him, he plays him, he plays that. So I'm going with just 3 Luffys because they are, after all, searchable from the Nami card. And next up, I'm going to go through my other part of the deck that I'm making here. And that would be the Bonnie set, I would call it. It's the Supernova Searcher. On top of searching Supernovas with the rest of the basic stuff that you might remember from the Kid deck, Supernovas in this deck that you can also search with her now are going to be the Luffy, any of the 3 Luffys, or even the Zoro. So whichever one you need or you're missing piece of any kind of combo you want to make, she can find it for you. So for her, our must, we put more of her searching power because she's lets you look at 5. So you're pretty much guaranteed to see what you want to see, unlike Nami, who can only search the top 3. She searches top 5, so obviously way better. Next up, I'm playing 4 of Gang Beji. He is there because he's a cheap blocker. and you want to play cheap blockers in this deck to help yourself from dying because you're already at 4 life. It's a double color leader, so you only get 4 life a game, so not a bad choice. And you get to find them off of Bonnie. And we're playing the 8-drop Kid later, so very good combo piece for that. Next up, I fit in 2 killers. Killer's just a blocker on Dawn. If you give him a Dawn, you get to draw a card if you got 3 more characters, which you likely are going to have more characters because this deck is very good at flooding the field with characters. So 2 killers is what I made room for. Next up, this is not a supernova, but it's just a couple of Ezos. This you can straight up change out for more killers if you wish, but I think this has great usage with the Captain Kid character card, the 8-drop, because you get to arrest the guy for free and then just attack him with your leader or whatever. So 2 of this. It's just an alternate art. It's the same exact card. Next up from this is one of the best cards in the deck. It's probably going to be Trafalgar Law. He's a blocker, and on play you get to do that switcheroo with a card on the field into your hand. And what he does very good in this deck is that he can play any of your 3 cost or less. So that means the Usopps, Nami, and Jinbei. And of course, your Veggies, your Bonnie if you want to reset the Bonnie, or Killer again, or Ezo. You could do Ezo's effect twice per turn. But anyways, he's good with the leader too, because if you do his effect to replay a vanilla like Usopp or Jinbei, you get to activate Sanji's effect once again. So that's not a bad choice either. After they attack or whatever, make him active again. Next up, I'm playing just 2 of our boss guy for the deck. Uses Captain Kid. He's searchable through Bonnie as well. And he's going to always be playing level 3 or less. And again, if you play a level 3 or less, meaning Usopp or Jinbei, you get to do Sanji's effect to restand 2 more Dawn, which comes in very handy, because then you get to give him that extra Dawn that he needs so that he becomes the magnet on the field, where you have to attack him. So we're doing just 2 of him, and of course you get to play Veggie, the killer with him and whatever, to keep him protected. The only way to really get around him, because we're playing lots of event cards, the only way they're going to get around him is if you're like a smoker deck. So I guess, you know, GG if you're fighting a smoker deck. But let's go right into the event cards. I'm playing 4 of Paradise Waterfall. This deck floods the field with characters, so the fact that you get to restand the character after this thing resolves is very useful, because then they still get to live another turn and attack again. So I'm playing 4 of these. It's cheap. You always get to restore Dawn easily, so 1 is very easy to keep up. Next up, 2 of Punk Gibson. This card is not the greatest. It might not come up the resting part of it, besides the giving 4k power, but the trigger's very, very good. And what I like about also is that it's searchable through Bonnie as well. So if you feel like you need that protection, Bonnie might get it for you when you need it. So just 2 of these. Next up, I'm playing 3 of A Love Mellow. Another card that gives you 4,000 power for just 2 Dawn. And you draw a card if you have 3 or less, which is very easy to manipulate in this deck. You can drop a lot of cards very easily when you need to. So I found it very useful to do that. Last up that I have at 2 is this new card here, 3-stored style Onigiri. This is the one that you rest 3 Dawn to get 6,000 power for the battle. And then you play a character that costs a 3 less and no base effect from your hand. So this goes very good with this leader. It's like the card was made for this leader, because you get to redo his effect and give yourself another active Dawn. So you could do this. Then let's say you had a Paradise Waterfall still in your hand. You just get to keep on blocking. Very good in the late game, because people like to load up Dawn heavy to try to knock you out. And with 6,000 power like that, with just 1 card in your hand, that's very damn useful. If I was also already thinking of bumping this up, if you don't like Punk Gibson or Love Mellow or Paradise Waterfall, the other event cards, I would say load them up for 2 more of these. So that's actually every card in the deck. I'm gonna do that thing where I clap and I just make everything look neater for you. Okay everyone, so here's the deck profile, very clear with all the ratios inside of how many of each guy I have. And this deck is playable in many different ways. This is just a build that I chose to play. I've been practicing it at home and in tournaments, and it does fairly okay. It's not one of the strongest yet, but maybe when we get more film support or something. But like I said, there's many ways to variate the deck. You can load the deck up with more vanillas if you would like. If you don't like either the film or the supernova package, you can fill it up with more vanillas just to utilize the leader's effect a lot more. If you want to cut down a few 1-0s and stuff. Like I said, I played the 1 Brook because he's nothing but an extender. So that's why you play him at 1. And everyone else, Bonnie's a more important searcher. That's why she's at 4. Whereas Nami's at 2 because she has a much worse search effect. But we filled the deck up with enough films, like half film, half supernova. And like I said, what you want to cut out is maybe a couple of Punk Gibsons or maybe a Waterfall, a Love Love Mellow for more of 3-sword style Onigiris, because I think those guys are really good. That's probably what I'm going to do. And if you feel like you don't need the 3 Monkey D. Luffy's, I said I can throw in maybe the more 5-drop Frankie, which is not a bad choice either. And like I said, load them up with all these basic vanillas that came out in the old sets for anything that you would like. And one last thing that I would like to show here is that something that I've tried before that I've experimented with, and I'm going to do it again, that I'd like to share with you, is adding in this crazy package. It's the Emoji and like the Richie the Lion or whatever their names are package. So he's a 1 cost for 3K vanilla. He does nothing. He looks terrible. He is terrible. But he is in combination with Kabaji. This card is actually so good that it's getting banned in the next set. So use them all you can if you'd like, but it works in this deck okay, because if you have Moji, you get to draw 2 cards and trash 1 from your hand. So this guy lets you restand 2 Dawn if you play him after somebody else. And then this guy gets you your hand advantage, which is not bad. This is a package I've thought of playing. So it's 8 cards in total, 4 of Kabaji, 4 of Moji. For this, I would take out either part of the film stuff or part of the supernova stuff. Don't take part of each. You have to knock out one or the other, or else the deck really won't work. But this is something I really wanted to consider, that I wanted to show you before I finish the video here. But anyways, that's the profile. This is what I've been working with, and I think it's a great start for which way you want to build a deck. And I think I have fun with it, and I think it's a great deck. It's a shame that the leader is part blue, because I'm literally running just 3 blue cards being Love Love Mellow. But then if Sanji was just fully green, you know, he'd probably be one of the best decks in the world, because he'd give him 5 life. That's the only thing that makes him not good, is the fact that he has 4 life and he's not even utilizing blue cards. At least in my build, I'm not. But that's the deck profile. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Peace.